It's 3:05. It's the 17th of April. The Board of Police Commission meeting is called to order. Do we have the chaplain online?
Yes.
Yes, sir, you do.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Chaplain. Please provide the invocation for us.
All hearts and mind clear? Let us pray. Heavenly Father, eternal our God in heaven, we thank you for this day. Let us live, love, laugh, and be glad in it. We thank you for your tremendous power of your mercy and your grace. Lord, we ask that you bless everyone attached to this call. We ask that you bless all the police commissioners and its staff, the entire Detroit Police Department, its leaders and staff. We ask that all things be done decently and in order. We ask a blessing over the entire city of Detroit and to keep us all safe from hurt, harm, and danger. Lord, please keep us all free of all hurt, harm, and danger, and keep us safe and secure. We ask these blessings and more in the mighty, magnificent, and merciful God, our Lord and Savior. Let us all say amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Chaplain Kurt Goodlow. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So
you're welcome.
Let's now have, we don't have a quorum in here yet. If we can, I know Commissioner Bernard was upstairs, if we can contact her to ask if she can come down to the meeting so that we can have a quorum, that would be appreciative. But let's get the Chief of Police report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
That's not a staff report. You can't do that according to the Open Meetings Act.
Excuse me. The Chief of Police report is not, we're not voting on anything.
I just advised. I'm just saying,
so
this has come up before, and the law department, this is not just my personal opinion, the law department said the chief of police is not staff. The Open Meetings Act said you can have staff reports and public comment, and you can discuss items of interest as long as you don't make any motions. But the chief of police report is not a staff report.
We can get comments from the Chief of Police, can't we?
I just advised.
Mr. Chairman, it would be inappropriate.
It wouldn't be inappropriate. We did it before, so we've been doing it, so I guess we've been violating it, so, and our staff didn't advise us otherwise. But let's go to the report from the personnel director. Do we have our personnel director is here?
Does she work for the, for the police commissioner?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Good afternoon, through the chair.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
I will be briefing the Human Resource Report for the month of March. I believe you all have the handouts. So for the departmental staffing, and as I said, this is for the month of March, departmental staffing, the department was filled at 97%. For sworn, we were filled at 99%, and we had a total of 38 vacancies at that time. For police assistants, we were filled at 90%, and we had 3 vacancies. And for civilians, professional staff, we were filled at 91%, and we had 77 vacancies. For sworn recruiting beginning of the fiscal year, we had a total applications of 1,873. 568 were in processing, 2 withdrew, 557 archived, 117 members have been hired. Temporarily disqualified was 233. Permanently disqualified was 169, and awaiting MCOs was 227. For MCOs testing for the written and the physical agility tests, for schedule, we had a total of 194 for the written, 266 for physical agility. For those that appeared, we had a total of 123 for the written test, 177 for the physical agility test. For the pass rate, out of the 123 that appeared for the written, it was 77, and the failure rate was 42. For the physical agility, 107 passed and 70 failures for the physical agility. Rescheduled was 4 for the written test, 3 for the physical agility test, 67 no-shows for the written test, and 86 for the physical agility test. For new hires, we had a total of 45 broken out sworn, 23 in professional staff civilians, 22. We did have an academy class that graduated with 20. For the Detroit residency, we had a total of, for Detroiters, 608 and 15 police assistants for Detroit residency, and 425 for civilian professional staff. For the non-Detroiters, we had 2,025, 14 police assistants, and then 321 civilians professional staff. Of those residency informations, for the new hires, civilians, Detroit residency, we had 17 new hires, 6 for the Detroit Sworn Police Academy. For the attrition, we have a total of 34, broken out, 14 sworn, 20 civilians. For your leave of absence, for the FMLA continuous, we had 17 for sworn, 1 for civilian, 121 for FMLA intermediate for sworn, 65 civilians. Paid parental leave, 10 sworn, 1 civilian. Medical leave, 1 sworn, 5 civilians. For restricted, we had a total of 154 for sworn, 10 civilians. Disabled, 11 sworn, 3 civilians. And sick, 33 sworn, 5 civilians. For personnel suspensions, we had a total of 14. That was 13 police officers, 1 sergeant. And then for the separations for March, we had a total of 14, 12 police officers, 2 sergeants. And then for drop, we had a total of 494. In addition to that, we had a total of, we have 5 academy classes currently, right now, total of 136 students. The next class will graduate May the 9th. Our next class will start April 28th. Orientation will be April 25th, and then you'll have 6 classes over at the academy. We are planning to have Mayor Fellows and Grow Detroit Youth Talent. They will start June and July, so we are accepting applications and reviewing resumes for those. And then on a side note, we always like to say, because of the contract, we, thanks to everyone who contributed that, our separations versus hires beginning from January 23rd to the present, we have a net gain of a total of 350 officers. For the calendar year of this year, we have a net gain of 12. Pending any questions, that concludes my presentation.
Any questions, commissioners? There being no questions, thank you very kindly. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Woods,
Present.
Commissioner Bernard,
Present, District 2.
Commissioner Banks,
President District 3.
Commissioner Bell,
President District 4.
Commissioner Burton,
President, District 5.
Commissioner Hernandez.
Present.
Commissioner Moore excused, Commissioner Presley excused, Commissioner DeWalsh,
Present.
7 present.
Thank you very kindly. We have a quorum. Entertain the motions for the approval of the April 17, 2025 agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Bernard. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried.
I'd like to-
Entertain a motion for the
I'd like to
approval of the
amend
minutes
it-
of
amend the
April.
agenda.
I entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes for April the 3rd, 2025.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Hernandez.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Bernard. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. I entertain a motion for the approval of the closed session minutes for April the 3rd, 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Bernard.
No objection. I wasn't here, but no objection.
Anyone to second it?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeWalsh. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. I entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes for April 10th, 2025.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Bernard. Anyone second it?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Bernard. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. Introduction of BOPC staff, chief of police, elected officials, and representatives and community leaders.
Through the chair.
Introduction, please.
Present BOPC staff, Attorney Dante Goss, Chief Investigator Jerome Warfield, Drew Freeze, Felicia Tyson, Mary Barber, Teresa Blossom, Candace Hayes, Armesia Joshua, Janya Underwood, Dr. Francis Jackson, parliamentarian. Office of Chief Investigator, Supervising Investigator LaSonia Sloan, DPD HR Director Katrina Patillo, for Police Chief Ty Bedison as Deputy Chief Parrish. Our interpreters today are Ms. Yakata and Dr. Stephanie Beatty, Court Reporter Don Handyside, Enrique Jackson for audiovisual, Charles Henry, Media Services Video. Elected officials or representatives signed in at this time are Marie Overall for State Representative Tyrone Carter, Ms. Freesia Butler, 2nd Precinct Community Relations President, LaDon Davis, Fred Durhall, Office of Councilmember Fred Durhall III, Mark Young, President of LSA, Ron Thomas, President of DPOA, Scotty Bowman, and former Detroit Police Commissioner William Davis are signed in at this time.
Okay, thank you very kindly. Going to item number 2 on the agenda. This motion seeks the board's approval to immediately hire 2 temporary administrative special service task workers, employees for the Office of the Chief Investigator. The rationale for this request is the urgent need to address the existing backlog of citizen complaints by providing administrative support. Mr. Calloway and Ms. Neely will free up the valuable time of our sworn investigators, allowing them to focus on the critical task of conducting thorough and timely investigations. This temporary staffing solution will directly contribute to the significant reduction in the backlog, ultimately improving the efficiency and responsiveness of the Office of the Chief Investigator and serving the citizens of Detroit. We did make sure that all of the applications were sent and all the relevant documents were sent in to all of the board members for review, and we've talked to numerous board members and seeing that this is something that is palatable for members. And so with its pleasure, Commissioner Hernandez.
So moved.
Support.
Move and supported by Commissioner DeWalsh to hire the 2 task workers. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Abstain.
If you could put their name in the record.
Okay, yes, that's what I thought I did. Mr. Daniel Calloway and Miss LaShonda Neely. Thank you, Madam Commissioner. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And anyone opposed?
I'm going to abstain because I don't totally agree with the process.
Okay, all right, thank you. So the ayes have it, and the motion is carried. So let's go to the next item here, and I know we had some closed door matters. The Chief of Police report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the rest of this honorable body. Beginning with crime, we are down 10% in homicides, 33% in non-fatal shootings, 14% in robberies. Our total Part 1 crimes are down by 9%, and we have 29% fewer carjackings compared to last year. Moving on to community, the department's happy to report an update on the Detroit Castle cleanup. Over the weekend, Chief Bedison assisted in cleaning up Mr. Brooks's property on Detroit's east side. In addition, a team of community members and the chief worked to have the legal issues related to the property resolved. 7th Precinct had the DEA takeback. This involved the 7th Precinct receiving the Golden Throne Trophy for breaking the department's record held since 2018 by collecting 145 pounds in prescription medication. On behalf of the Chief of Police, I want to thank the officers from the 7th Precinct for their exceptional work in helping take prescription drugs off the street. Transitioning to recruiting, today the recruiting team attended the Garden City High School Fair, the Wayne State Criminal Justice Fair, and the Renaissance High School Career Fair, hoping to get more applicants. We also had the precinct Easter egg hunts. On Friday, April 18th, the 5th Precinct will be hosting an Easter egg hunt at the Baldock Park. The community can join the precinct for egg hunting, toy games, and prizes. On Saturday, April 19th, the 10th precinct will be hosting an Easter egg hunt at the Light of the World Church. The community can join the precinct for egg hunting, face painting, and an opportunity to win a new bike. Transitioning to significant incidents, first report out on a non-fatal shooting. This happened Wednesday, April 9th, 2025 at 1:31 p.m. Officers were dispatched to the 4800 block of Lenox on a call for service for a non-fatal shooting. Officers arrived on scene and observed the victim lying on the ground suffering from a gunshot wound. Medics transported the victim to a local hospital where the victim was listed in temporary serious condition. Officers from the 5th Precinct secured the scene, and detectives from the 5th Precinct Detective Unit shooting team were notified and responded to the scene. Detectives determined that the victim was accidentally dropped off at the location by a rideshare driver. The victim got into an argument with the suspect at the location after taking a picture of the suspect's house. The suspect shot the victim and then left the location after the shooting. Detectives from the 5th Precinct Detective Unit developed information on the identity of the suspect. On April 15, 2025, the suspect turned himself in at the 5th Precinct. The suspect was transported to the Detroit Detention Center for processing. The detectives have prepared a warrant to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for review. The warrant is currently being reviewed. Regrettably, we did have a fatal shooting on Friday, April 11, 2025 at 12:51 p.m. Officers were dispatched to the 8500 block of Piedmont on a call for service of a fatal shooting. Officers arrived on the scene and observed the victim suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. Medics arrived at the scene and pronounced the victim deceased at the scene. Officers from the 6th Precinct held the scene, and detectives from the homicide unit were notified. Detectives later determined that the victim was shot by a known suspect who left the location after shooting the victim. Officers checked the area and located the suspect. The suspect was arrested and transported to the Detroit Detention Center. Detectives from the homicide unit submitted a warrant to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for review, and that warrant was approved. The suspect has been arraigned at the 36th District Court on the following charges: homicide, murder first degree, premeditated, weapons, felony firearm. Also, we had a quintuple non-fatal shooting, which occurred on April 12, 2025 at 4:04 p.m. Officers were dispatched to the 14,000 block of Sussex on a call for service for a family trouble disturbance, which was updated to a non-fatal shooting. Officers arrived at the scene and discovered that 5 victims, all family members, had been shot. 3 of the victims were at the scene and were transported to a local hospital suffering from gunshot wounds by medics. 2 of the victims were privately conveyed to a local hospital for treatment. All the victims were listed in stable or temporary serious conditions. Detectives determined that all the victims were related and got into a large fight at the location. During the fight, 3 of the victims fired shots, striking each other, and victims 4 and 5. On April 14, 2025, detectives prepared and submitted warrants to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for review, and those warrants are currently pending. We had an escaped prisoner on April 17, 2025. This involved a 22-year-old male with a history of violence. He is back in custody, I'm grateful to say, and now facing additional charges after managing to briefly escape from Detroit Police custody during a transport from a medical facility in the 4200 block of St. Antoine Street. His time on the run was short thanks to the fast action and sharp coordination of the involved officers. The suspect, who allegedly assaulted deputy officers during multiple parts of the arrest and transfer, was quickly located and taken back into custody thanks to our Detroit Police Aviation Unit and coordinated efforts by officers on the ground. He was taken into custody without further incident, and this outcome reflects the strength of our partnership with our community and our effectiveness with our technology in protecting both our officers and our neighborhoods. And that's all I have.
Any questions? Yes, sir. Commissioner Banks
Thank you.
and Bernard.
Through the chair. Commander Paris, how did the prisoner escape?
My understanding is that he assaulted the officer and managed to get away from the officers.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Bernard.
Just quickly, our stats are not as good as they have been. There's been an increase, obviously, in crime and in gun-related crime in the city. One, what is the plan to address that? 2, can you arrange, it doesn't have, not next week or whenever you want to do it, but I know that we have a number of groups from, that the chairman is familiar with, that are engaged in being in the community to try to stop the violence. I mean, and we have, I've forgotten the names of some of them, but you know them all.
Absolutely.
And that's a lot of money. We spend a lot of money funding those initiatives. And maybe we could get a report on what they're doing, and you might be able to ask them what they're going to do differently or better in the months to come, because it's getting, sort of disturbing, not just for me, but for certainly people who come into the city.
Absolutely, we can certainly get a report of that nature to the board, but if I could just reiterate that presently today, we're down 10% in homicides, down 33% in non-fatal shootings, down 14% in robberies, and down 9% in total Part 1 crimes, and we're down 29% in carjackings, and that's compared to the historical crime reductions we had last year, so we're still on a downward trajectory. One is too many.
I'm sorry, it's just that you've spoiled us because we were really down like 30% in every category or more. And so now we're looking for, those sort of stats that show things are going down from like they have been all year so far. I mean, so that's all. That's why I'm interested to see what we can do.
Absolutely.
Or what you think the causes are, or how we can interdict it, or whatever.
Yeah,
Because
I'm happy to invite CVI groups to come present before the board.
Thank you.
To
we can
update.
nip it in the bud
Yeah.
while it's still
And
kind of cold.
and
It's
then,
not hot yet.
Yeah, like you said, the numbers are still going down, thank God, and we want to get it down more. And so I think that's a good thing. And some of these cases have been like families.
Yeah.
You got 5 families and shooting at each other at one time. So it's been group, domestic type
It's
situations and
confined. I
stuff.
got
So, yep. So, Commissioner,
Yes.
thanks.
Yes. I just got briefed on. I'm sorry about lowering your title. You're a deputy chief.
Deputy chief, yeah.
I remember when you was a commander, though. So I'm still I'm thinking back in time. So congratulations on your promotion. You worked hard to get that promotion. So we want to make sure you get that type of respect, deputy chief. But I want to revisit that situation where the prisoner escaped. I needed time to think of something else. When a prisoner is being transported, aren't they in handcuffs and shackles? How can you run and stuff like that?
Well, first of all, being handcuffed does not render a person immobilized, and I've seen people run very fast in handcuffs. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Sergeant Zhao may have additional information.
Yeah, let's hear it.
My understanding is that he was able to get the handcuffs from.
Is he here?
He is. He's
He's
coming
right
up.
there,
Yeah. The prisoner was able to get the handcuffs from the back to the front, which makes you more mobile and
Okay.
more dangerous.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Sergeant Zhao.
Hey, through the chair, Sergeant Zhao, Media Relations.
Yes, sir.
Good to everyone. So what we had this morning, early morning today, in the 4200 block of St. Antoine, there was a individual that was arrested for weapons offenses. He made the Detroit Detention Center, and they took him to the hospital for a medical clearance. And during that transport back, when they put him into the vehicle, he was able to evade the officers, and unfortunately, he escaped briefly, and they were able to apprehend him a short distance later. But the investigation for how he escaped, it's still under investigation, but we hope to have more for the board once we have a better update.
Thank you very kindly. If there's nothing further, we can go to the Chief of Police report. You have a question? Yes, sir.
I have a statement that I want to say briefly. I just want to thank the Detroit Police Department, the men and women in blue, for the outstanding work that they do year out, year round. We talk about community, we talk about community policing. Detroit Police Department definitely has one of the best models across the country, where other departments is definitely looking at and trying to adopt. I can't speak when it comes to other little community groups and things of that nature, but I can say that the Detroit Police Department, along with Crime Stoppers, has been making a difference here in the city of Detroit and across southeastern Michigan. That's it for me for today.
Thank you, Commissioner. Let's go to the oral communications.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have 6 speakers in the audience. Our first speaker will be Lieutenant Mark Young, Ms. Williams, Minister Eric Blunt.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Prayers to those officers that whatever incident that happened today, it's amazing that they offered some compassion to a person that claimed he was injured or sick or ill who had alternative motives. That happens all the time. People go to the hospital, people get arrested, lie about their injuries or illness with ulterior motives. I hope that the officers are okay. I never heard nobody ask about the officers because that had to be a violent encounter. Heroes. I've never ceased to be amazed about the valor, the honor, the integrity of the men and women on the street. When you talk about a crime reduction, that's off of every year, back to back, that 9%, that's huge. That's huge. I see them out there. I live in this community. My hat's off to them. They're facing a lot. The warm weather coming is intermittent now. School shootings, financial uncertainty, political overload, that affects them too. They're doing a great job driving those crime stats down. They're doing their best, all while displaying empathy, dedication, commitment, courage, sacrifice, understanding, patience. It should be public service announcements for these fools that's out here with this recklessness, foolishness, lawlessness, and carelessness that's taking resources away from victims that really need it. I am so grateful for last year, 2024. I saw DPD not only do awesome things like they've always done, but we didn't lose a man or woman in the line of duty. So this police week, we won't have to honor somebody that actually died or got killed in the line of duty. That's a testament to our department too. We might be honoring somebody that was previously not recognized. Let's not forget, just because we didn't have somebody fallen in last year, to not honor the all fallen. Many have not been recognized because they succumbed for their injuries long after retirement, but were clearly duty related. See, they never got the military funerals, the 21-gun salute. They never got that, so let's not forget them. Never diminish the sacrifice, never diminish what they do. My hat is off to what they face every day because it is violent out there. All of us have had prisoners that tried to escape. And we also got complaints when they tried to escape and we didn't let them escape. Let's not forget that part.
As long as it's done constitutionally and done in a humane way, there's no complaints whatsoever. Excuse me. So point of order. You know, because we believe in constitutional point of order. We believe in constitutional police in the city of Detroit, and we believe that everybody should be treated with dignity and respect. This is not an open season on anyone, not on police officers. It's not an open season on people that they take in custody. As long as it's done with dignity and respect and constitutionally, then there's no problems. And citizens have a right to complain anytime they want to.
To the chair?
Yes. Yes, sir.
To the chair, I just find it to be very highly disrespectful for a chairperson to try and shut down the union president for finishing up a statement that he was making. This board, for the past decade that I've been here, I have never witnessed, this type of behavior where a union president is being shut down in a board of police commissioners meeting. Even if he's, have another 30 seconds or finishing the statement, we should hear from the union president, especially the fact that he takes time to come to these meetings every week.
And he's always treated.
In fact, he should be on the agenda.
He's always treated with dignity and respect.
We should have every union on the agenda to give a full report to this full board.
Not make political statements.
But it's disrespectful for you to try and shut down the union president.
I would never.
I just want you to know that the community is watching.
Duly noted. Moving on. Let's go. They're watching you. Thank you.
Through the chair,
Yes.
they watching everybody.
Thank you.
Let's make this very clear, because last time I checked, Wendell, when they was vetting Chief, he had like 10 minutes. So make it make sense. Let's keep it 100 in here. Okay, I like to talk about a couple weeks ago when they was doing recruiting, and Linda Bernard asked concerning what in the churches, and you asked this question about what are they going to be doing to help the churches. But they were using their facilities to recruit at 3381, and I'm at that shelter at 3426, and the people that I be complaining about went across the street and they were doing recruiting. And shortly when I made the statement last week at LCI, they removed these people that was doing the recruiting. Not all of them, but a few of them. Okay, let's talk about new identity. Like 21 Jump Street, you all have officers that's on these forces that's been locked up in prison. You recruiting them through the shelters, and it's very unfortunate. You got a new identity, and you can become a Detroit police officer. You didn't did time in prison. That's not acceptable. And people who do not have U.S. citizenship, that's not acceptable either. So they create new identity, and they can become a Detroit police officer. Make that make sense through the chair. And concerning officers that's in these shelters, Linda Bernard asked, are you guys doing any psych evaluation? It's a whole lot of mental illness going on in these shelters, but your numbers are excellent. But how are they excellent? Because you recruiting people. I have to deal with a whole lot of marijuana smoking every night with officers with guns and badges. That's not acceptable either. And we need not to do no urine tests because they can cheat. What about hair samples? Thank you. Through the chair.
Next speaker.
Good afternoon, board.
Good afternoon.
You know, you can't help but appreciate people who are frustrated with this board. I mean, the majority of your time and effort is spent on diversion. Coleman Young did not create this commission because crime was up or down, or there were people that were lost. He created it because bad cops were beating the hell and sometimes killing the majority black people in this city. But why can't you concentrate on that? It's just so obviously corrupt. This week, after 3 years, the cop that killed Patrick Loyola is going on trial. Body-worn camera footage could have prevented so much of this. And why do I say that? The cop that stopped him was going in the opposite direction, but yet he stopped him on his license plates. Make that make sense. And I know there's something called pretextual stops, but we need to be clear about how many times that's used in a profiling sense. And you talk about constitutional policing. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is constitutionally able for police officers to lie to citizens during a traffic stop. Correct me if I'm wrong. They cannot lie under oath in a court of law, but that just shows you how corrupt this is. Lastly, about pursuits, whether or not DPD does pursuits. Because let's face it, legal and illegal immigrants are going to run.
All right, thank you.
Our
Next speaker.
Our next three speakers will be Ms. Bernice Smith, Ms. Fredia Butler, and Ms. Tanae Hankins, pardon me.
Sorry, I should have got up.
You all right?
Yes. Good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
To my dear Bernard Nothing wrong, nothing wrong. But the young man, I was at Harper Hospital the other day, and I spoke to the young man, to speak to him. He's the security guard there. He knew me from the previous time, and he spoke with me in regards to being on the police force. And he gave me some information and so forth. So I said, well, I know everybody that's on the board, so I'll deliver that message to Miss Bernard for you.
Thank you.
So in the meantime, I saw him again. He wished the best for you. And you get in touch with him, baby, for me, okay?
Okay.
Now, I have heard so much today, and I look at it on TV. 11 o'clock in the morning, I watch the news on Channel 2. I am so upset because of the fact it's so much crime that's running rapid in our city. And we got a darn good city here. I came from Chicago over 60 years ago, visited, and then I loved it because of the way that we were living here. But now, look like everything is going amok as far as you look at the news every day, somebody is shooting, somebody is killing, and then above all, you have these men that's mistreating the women. I think I spoke about it last week, and I was quite upset about it, and I cried that day. But the fact is, I want the women to realize they're human beings. They're not puppets, and they're not to be used. I've raised 3 daughters, and I'm so proud of them, I don't know what to do. One's a postmaster, the other one is a banker executive, and then the other one's been with Ford for 35 years. I can't get her to retire. Wow. But anyway, I wish I could find a husband for her, though. That would give me a policeman. But anyway, seriously speaking, I wish that the women would listen and not be abused by the men that are taking advantage of them. I know, it's zero.
Thank you.
You're getting ready to say it. But take care, everyone, and be safe out here. And I love my police department. I respect them.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and I was told
Good afternoon.
I was told to ask. I have a handout that I should have emailed, but I didn't, for the board and police officers representing the chief. So
Can you
do I
speak
just
up,
give it
please?
to
Can you
you?
speak up
Okay.
and speak in the mic?
The microphone clearly. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and restart at time for, you said you have some documents that you want to leave.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to pass it out for the commissioners and the representative from the chief's office because I've neglected to email it.
Okay.
And I was told to ask to do that first.
Okay, you go ahead.
Okay.
The staff will get it. All right, thank you.
Oh, you know what? Can I have
She didn't give her one.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, I just want to, in a nutshell, say the only reason why I'm in front of you all, because you can get the gist of it.
Can you talk in the mic some more?
The only reason why I'm in front of you all, and I would appreciate an extra 15 seconds to clock to reset, is because there's a noticeable absence of humanity here in my situation. You all might remember I spoke in front of you a couple weeks ago and seeing a report on TV too about how I'm being abused and misused by DPD, by them choosing and boldly saying that they will not do anything to prosecute the person that assaulted me because I subsequently filed a complaint against the officer that befriended that person. Now, the person that has assaulted me and needs to be prosecuted, she's at it again. I'm still staying in my house. I still don't feel safe. And that is the bottom line. 90%, well, let me rephrase it. The vast majority of the discussions that I had post talking to you and to officers was about the officers. I had to interrupt, but can we get to the prosecution? Hence this letter. Somebody has to make DPD do their jobs, okay, before somebody gets killed. This woman, you have a recording, says she was going to kill me. What proof do you need? And 9 months, almost 10 months later, DPD is investigating, okay, which I think is a euphemism for we're going to do whatever we're going to do until something happens, and then we'll be out there when somebody gets shot. And I don't appreciate it. You do not have a right to not make my life the only thing that matters. This is a body dedicated to policing, serving, getting rid of criminals, but you're going to side with a criminal and help that criminal because one of your officers, well, 2 of your officers, Parker and Deputy Chief Hope, have decided that police officers should not be held accountable. I want somebody to save my life and to prosecute this person.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next speaker.
Ms. Denise Taylor, and then we'll go into Zoom.
I think we have to talk to, ask him about what she do.
Deputy Chief, Commissioner Bernard would like you to respond to that.
Yeah, and also, Miss, you should go and see if you can get if you've made a police report, you can get a PPO, a personal protection order.
Yeah.
You know, I've been there, done that, and the judge said that it was a domestic dispute.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, I've done police reports, all of that.
Let
And
it be
had that.
clear that this the Board of Police Commission, and we don't prosecute cases, and that's not under our purview or any of our powers, and so we don't have anything to do with any criminal prosecutions in no shape, form, or fashion. But I'll have the deputy, and thank you, ma'am. You can be seated.
Or provide legal opinion.
Or provide any legal opinions in no shape, form, or fashion, because that's not in our purview, and we don't have the capacity to do anything like that. Yes, with Deputy Chief, and then, but it seems as though she's leaving. Okay, so. No, you're good. No, so the Deputy Chief was going to respond to it.
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Lieutenant, could you get Ms. Hankins' information? But for the board's understanding, I do believe that this matter has been the subject of several complaints to various offices of the city. I believe this is the one, I'm not certain. And her matter was looked into, but out of an abundance of caution, I'll have the lieutenant review everything one more time, if for anything to reassure this board that this is the case that I'm thinking of and that we've done everything that we can for.
Okay, thank you very kindly. Next speaker.
Yes, my name is Denise Taylor. I'm here in regards to two of my nephews. My sister, her son was killed December 8th, 2021. Nothing has been done. Every time she's trying to get in touch with someone, she can't get in touch with them, and as soon as she get in touch with someone else has the case. Now, last year, her oldest son was killed. And we just need some closure. We need these police officers to act like it's somebody in their family, because it just seems like they don't care. I know it's some good officers out there. I know it is. But the bad ones overrule the good ones, seem like, and we just need some justice. We are tired of getting a runaround. The first lady that was in charge of my nephew's case in 2021, God rest her soul, she passed away. Then she recently got another officer that was in charge. He seemed like he was a good officer. He ended up retiring. My sister didn't know until she called, and then she got the runaround, then she finally got somebody else. I know it's a lot of killing out there, but my nephews are not just a number. We want y'all to treat my nephews like they were your own. We just want some justice, and this doesn't make any sense.
And so are you saying you haven't received any responses and if you haven't received responses, you will get a response. And I know that DPD has been working to be able to have a family unit. And I'm so sorry for your loss and your family's loss. But rest assured that you will get a response. The response that you get, the investigation part, we have no purview over that. But rest assured that you would get an expeditious response from homicide and give you an update, your family the update on the case. Deputy Chief.
Yes. Could one of the officers get her information? And to your point, Mr. Chairman, we do have a family unit. Their primary responsibility is to make sure that things like this do not happen, that everybody gets the updates that they need. So I'm disappointed to hear this report. We do have a unit whose job this is to make sure that you are contacted. I'm not sure what went wrong, but we'll correct it. We'll get your information. We'll make sure you get an update.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a blessed one. We're praying for you and your family. Yes, sir.
I want to ask a young lady.
Excuse me, ma'am. One of the commissioners.
Her name again?
Tell her.
Who? Teo? Taylor, Ms. Taylor, who killed your nephew? Was it a Detroit police officer, or
No.
was it a?
We're not doing
No, we can't do that.
No.
We cannot do that openly.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, never do it again.
we would not. Just talk offline.
Thank you.
Any of that.
All right.
Yeah,
Mr. Chair, we'll go into Zoom.
yeah.
Our first speaker will be Scotty Bowman, CAC Scotty Bowman, and then after Mr. Bowman, it'll be Ms. Tara Brown.
Yes, sir. Mr. Scotty Bowman.
Yeah, I just had it tapped on mute. First of all, what I just heard disturbs me. The fact that a person can't even answer a simple question as far as who she believed killed a family member. It seems rather absurd. Moving forward, though, in the last meeting, it was confirmed that we have uninvestigated complaints going back as far as 2022. We're talking about 3 years behind on complaint investigation. And I assume there are many more recent ones that did get investigated because they were priority complaints. But the fact that we do not have this process caught up is disturbing. Now, it is budget season, and I'm not sure if it's too late or if the board acted in the manner I'm going to suggest here when it was timely. But you need to prioritize staffing that office sufficiently. And if you have the maximum number of investigators filled and you're still behind, what it means is you need more investigators. The other thing is, in addition to more investigators, often organizing information coming in from a large number of complaints, maybe it has an IT component. And if there's any information technology you need in order to help organize the complaints, to investigate them, for instance, to be able to look people up and contact involved individuals, then that would be important too. But there needs to be a number one priority on getting the investigation of these complaints caught up. It's a core function of this board, and that's really where I want to hear, I listen to the meetings, I don't hear other than when someone like myself brings it up, that being an issue that is being discussed and how to make things better.
Thank you very kindly. We've pursuing all of the above, what you're saying. Thank you very kindly for the input. Next speaker.
Hello, can I be heard?
Sir, yes, sir.
Oh, I'd like to start off by saying I think it would be helpful for the board to do a couple of things. As you know, I'm a City of Detroit retiree. In fact, I'm president of the City of Detroit Retiree Group. I think it should be a greater effort to bring down the number of lawsuits filed against the Detroit Police Department and the fact that there's a whole lot that comes out every year because of questionable practice by some officers. Most officers are doing a good job, but I think it should be a greater effort to reduce the amount of lawsuits. I think it should be a greater effort to make sure that officers are honest and don't falsify official documentation. I worked for the water department for 34 years. It was regular, like say, if you worked for the water department, you knew that if you falsify official documentation that you could be fired. It should be some rules in effect that officers know there's certain things you cannot do and that there are consequences if they do it. One of them perhaps should be that the city should not pay to represent people that falsify official documentations and lie under oath. Also, I think a greater effort should be made to make sure that we have more actual Detroiters on the Detroit Police Department. I think the numbers we have are horrible. And Coleman Young would be turning over in his grave to know that the vast majority of the command officers and rank and file officers live outside the city today. Thank you for this consideration, and hopefully some actions will be made to help to improve the Detroit Police Department. Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
That was former Commissioner Bill Davis.
Yes.
It's always great to hear him share his concerns with the full board. It was great serving with him. 4 years on this board. But I also want to just share with Commissioner Bill Davis and also with members of the community, we have more police officers moving and relocating back to the city of Detroit every day. And so, and that's a good thing. We have officers that's moving back, not just every day, but I would say every year, you got more and more officers moving back to the city because they love the city. They work in the city. They love our community. And it's great to see, you know. And so, but more to what he was trying to say, you know, that was a state issue that allow the residency to be, you know, to be what it is now, where you don't have to work here to live here and whatever. But we have more officers moving back into the city that live in the city more now than we probably had probably in the past 10 years. And so we're starting to see more of that now, officers moving back to the city of Detroit. This is a great department to work for. As I talked to many officers over the years, and we even have officers that left the department that's coming back to become officers with the same department that they started from, right here in the city of Detroit, the Detroit Police Department. Just wanted to put that on the record.
Thank you very kindly.
Through the chair.
speaker. Yes, sir.
I wanted to say something right quick. That was some very, very encouraging news, Commissioner Burton, what you put out on the floor, that more officers from the suburbs are moving back to Detroit. Good stuff you put out there on the floor. But I wanted to say this. I need to put this out on the floor, and I'm going to put it out on the floor, that you have some great Detroit police officers out there, great police officers out there who have lived a career on the force and walked in integrity for many, many years. And I'll stand by that because I know some. So you have some good, strong police officers out there who have lived with integrity, and I speak that any day, any time. And just want to put that out there on the floor. You got some good ones out there. And one of our own right here who's up on the mic every week, I want to commend him, Lieutenant Mark Young. I want to commend you for your dedication, your heart, your drive. And brother, I respect you as a champion, as a police officer. My wife will tell you, I don't respect any man as a champion, not a champion, but I respect the loyalty and the dedication that you got. Your heart has touched my heart, and I appreciate you, Lieutenant.
The judge want to add one last thing.
Yes, sir.
I want to also just say that, you know, past chairperson in the past, Commissioner Willie Bell, you know, served 30 plus years with the Detroit Police Department. You know, had a great stellar career. You know, he could live anywhere he wanted in the world, but he chose to remain right here in the city of Detroit. He served honorably this past decade on the board. He served honorably with the Detroit Police Department as he was going through the ranks. But more importantly, he also served honorably when he was over in OCI. And so he understands you know, we have good talent here. You know, we got people that retire, come back, serve, and keep serving. But I do like to make a motion at this time, Mr. Chairman, for line items 7 and 8.
Burton, we're still in public comment. Move this along.
Thank you. Yeah, we are in public comment.
My apologies.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Ms. Brown. I apologize. We will,
Power to the people. Give her 30 extra seconds.
This is Tara Brown.
Go ahead.
I wasn't going to say anything this week, but I don't know what's going on between Woods and Burton. I can probably guess from that ethics committee meeting, but y'all need to take that outside, beat each other up, and go have a beer and be done with it. Here every Thursday to listen to Burton gush over the police and cut each other off. Woods and Burton cut each other off I don't know what this is about, but another time I was here, Burton made a comment because Woods made a comment and made a joke at the expense of bail. Instead of moving it on, we got to listen to that point be delivered. Not on my watch. You're not going to make that joke on my watch. Where was your watch when you were expected to be here on time? Again, you are an oversight committee. If you think Bell is doing such a great job, which I don't doubt that he is, send him an email. Tell him when you walk past him on y'all way to y'all offices. That's not what this is for. Do police business. Get it over with. I'm sorry, do the business of the board. Get it over with and get us up out of here. Again,
Thank you.
we need answers. What happened to the gentleman that came in here and said the neighbor was harassing him? Did anybody follow up with him? The lady in the audience, we've heard her being tormented about her neighbor. Has anybody followed up with that? And how come we can't get anything with any information about what's going on with that on the record? Also, Mr. Burton, Burton, can you please provide us of the number of officers that are moving back into the community? Because it sounds like you have information we aren't getting, because this is the first time I'm hearing this. So please next week have that information. How many of them have moved back in 2023, 2024, and how many have moved back in the first 4 months of 2025? I like that information because, again, I'm not seeing it, and I do agree with former Commissioner Davis. There are too many people or too many police officers or city employees in general, let's just call it all, living outside of the city of Detroit, and I totally agree Coleman Young would not like this. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly.
Our last
speaker, thank
Our
you.
last speaker is Mr. Jadante Smith.
May I be heard?
Yes, you may be heard, sir.
I like to echo some of those sentiments I just heard, that I wasted so much time. I'm so sad I couldn't be there in person. I had to pick my son up from school, but just to listen to that dialogue was very interesting. It was not complaint related. Also, the comment that you made last week, Chair Woods, is very disgruntling to hear that you say that the commission and the board meets, well, not commission, but the board meets just to meet every week. And so, and to hear what you just said to that lady who's relative of murder victims, she has relatives that have been murdered. It was very callous for you to say, "Oh, our thoughts and prayers with you." So if you didn't meet every week, she wouldn't have never been able to make her comment and come and give her grievances. My thing is, I work with a group called Mothers Keeping Boots on the Ground, and they represent lots of families who had the same sentiment. That family love unit is not working. It is not doing what it needs to be doing. One of the cases from the mothers I work with was solved, but there are hundreds and thousands of cases that are still open that have not been solved. People not getting calls. And if they didn't work so hard, they didn't fight the way that they did, the family love unit would not even exist. So my thing is to even say things as far as, oh, well, the board should meet every week. It should meet every week, but it should actually do some work. It should ask some questions. It should have some oversight. It should use some of the authority it does have. Even if you can't adjudicate cases, you can't do things. And then the fact that y'all always trying to stop Commissioner Banks. Commissioner Banks is one of the only ones up there that fights. And everything he does is in opposition to what you guys are doing because he's trying to do the right thing for the most part. He is trying to get answers. He's trying to be transparent. He's trying to help families. He is working with several different families on several different issues, and I commend that man for fighting, and I commend that commissioner for trying. And it's crazy how he's elected, and there are people who are appointees and have all this power and aren't doing a thing. My thing is, I love to see people actually fighting and trying to help the people. So sad to see so many people throwing the face on and trying to act like they really care when they really don't. Most of you people would rather be somewhere else.
Point of order, that was the last speaker. Let's go to now the presentation to the board, the technology utilization and accuracy and body worn cameras and dash cam.
Through the chair, can I make a motion at this time?
We're following the agenda. You can do that under new business. Yes. If it's a new business or unfinished business. Yep.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Honorable Chair and honorable board members. I'm Dr. Martin. I'm the Performance Compliance Manager over the Civil Rights Division. The Civil Rights Division is responsible for use of force audits, body-worn camera review audits, various audits, compliance audits throughout the department. We also over the Management Awareness System, MAS, and the Performance Evaluation Enhancement Review. Today's presentation is going to be on the body-worn camera process. Oh, you guys don't have a,
We have the handout.
okay.
Are we following on here?
so today I'm going to be going over members
Excuse me,
required.
hold on. Do we have an overhead? It's for them to follow with us? Yeah, we have the handout here. Right there.
This is it?
All right, go ahead, sir.
All right, today I'm going to be going over members required to wear body-worn cameras. The next will be when is the body-worn camera activated. Then it'll be CRD daily review of body-worn camera video. Then total events captured for 2024 and 2025. Then it'll be questions. All right, the first slide is members required to wear body-worn cameras. DPD policy indicates that members shall activate their body-worn cameras to record all significant contact with citizens. This requires all DPD members that work patrol, detectives. This includes detectives turning on their body-worn camera on scene when they're interviewing witnesses and interrogations. And then all specialized units. This includes special response team, narcotics, and vice. All right, let's go to the next slide. Start off with the policy. Policy indicates that the body-worn camera shall remain on until the event is completed in order to ensure the integrity of the recording. This includes calls for service, vehicle stops, and citizen stops, execution of search warrants and/or arrest warrants. Then any citizen or encounters which requires police involvement. Before we go to the next slide, I wanted to discuss at the beginning of every shift, officers are required to, before they go on patrol, to sync their body-worn cameras to the in-car dashboard. This is monitored by the supervisor to ensure that the body-worn cameras are synced with the camera. This is really important. If it's not synced, it won't activate. And then once it's synced, they can activate it from the in-car inside the vehicle through the in-car dashboard monitor. So that's why this is important. The next slide, please. CRD daily reviews, body-worn camera review. So at CRD, we review all commands, specialized commands. So we go through a process when we're selecting videos. We get it through CAD events. We go through all CAD events, then we randomize it and get a sample. And then we get a sample of about 250. With this sample, we give it to the body-worn camera team. They review. If they find anything during the review, the supervisor reviews it to confirm that there was a policy violation. What we're looking for when we do these reviews, when the body-worn camera team is looking for, is events not captured, partial events not captured, code of conduct that's considered profanity, demeanor, or professionalism, search and seizure violations, and any other policy violation that we find during the review. Okay, next slide. So the total events captured for 2024 and 2025. In 2024, the body-worn camera team reviewed 3,633 body-worn camera footage, video. Total compliance rate for the department was 99%. For 2025, first quarter, they reviewed 1,051 video, body-worn camera, and 99% compliance rate. The 1% we wrote corrective action notices were sent out to commands to address the events that were not captured. Then I want to say make a note. So since we've been using body-worn camera,
let me ask you, what do that 1% represent? How many numbers is that 1%?
How many numbers?
Yeah. So like you got 3,000. Say it one more time.
1% is around 36.
It's about 33?
36.
36. Exactly, it's 36.
Okay. That guy's good. Read is my soup. Continue on. You done?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to state one more thing, though. Since we've been using body-worn camera, it's been found that actually for the first quarter, use of force is down. allegations of force and citizen complaints. And then also through the assistance through the command staff, they've been conducting their own body-worn camera audits. That's actually helped bring down the percentage in events captured.
Yeah, well, I want you to hear from my chief investigator in a minute, but Commissioner DeWash.
Yes, thank you, Chair. With regard to the numbers, what percentage does that represent of the events? So you said you reviewed 3,633. Of what number?
Events captured. This is when when officers turn on their camera.
So
when they on patrol. Go. I'm sorry.
Through the chair, Dr. Martin, I believe what she's asking is, in a given year, how many total events are captured? You've reported out on what your team has reviewed, but how many total events are captured in a given year? And if you don't have the information, that's okay. It's something that we can provide at a
Yeah, we
later
can
date.
provide that. I don't have that at this moment.
Okay, and we will provide that.
Commissioner?
I was just gonna say, it says number of events.
Yeah, that is the number of events.
That's the number of events that his team
It's a
audited,
sample.
that they reviewed.
Right,
And I
it's a
believe-
sample, right?
No, that's not the sample. I'm sorry. That's actually the total amount of videos that were reviewed by the body-worn camera team.
That's all of them?
That's all of them.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So you review 100% of all the events?
I'm
That's-
sorry.
That's what I meant? That's what
Oh, I know what you're...
No, if I may, no.
Yes.
If I may. That is the number. The Civil Rights Division does not have the capacity to review all recorded events in the Detroit Police Department. There's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands
Right.
events that are captured in any given year. What he's reporting out on is the number of events that through randomization and auditing that they have actually reviewed of that total number. And it sounds like Dr. Martin, at a later date, will be able to provide the total number of events so the board understands what percentage of the total number is we're actually laying eyes on. Is that correct, Dr. Martin?
Yes, sir. I actually do have a number. It's like 33,000, and we randomized from that.
So it's like 10% is what you're reviewing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Commissioner?
I have a few questions. The slide, when is the body-worn camera activated? I'm just curious. I know someone mentioned it before a couple months ago.
Okay.
But what's the retention period of that footage? Is it 90 days, 60? Is it beyond that?
No, it's for a lifetime. That was the old camera.
The old camera, right?
new
We
camera-
updated to a new, so now it's indefinite.
Yes.
If I can expand on that,
Yes.
a couple of years ago, the state of Michigan changed the law to require video footage be preserved, whether it's related to civil or criminal matters, to be preserved until those cases are fully adjudicated, even through appeals. Because of the way our system is set up, we really have no way of compartmentalizing our video in such a way to where we can ensure that only cases that have been fully adjudicated, video connected to or related to those cases drops off. So for that reason, the rule is indefinite retention of all video until we come up with a better way of compartmentalizing video. We're just not there yet, and it is a challenge.
Okay, so excuse me, I'm sorry.
I have a second question, but it's not related to...
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Second question on the daily review. I know you said that you take samples of 250 at a time. I'm curious.
Well, after the randomization.
After randomization.
That's after that. Yes, sir. So we get 250. That's the number we're trying to get at 250. Out of that 250, we randomize through all the commands, and then it's divided through the body-worn camera team.
Is there any of this automated?
What do you mean automated? As far as
I mean, the randomization, I'm sure, is to a certain extent, but I guess where I'm trying to go to is just the element of human error. So if you're reviewing 250 footages, if you will, and it's down to interpretation of humans interpreting this policy, there's guaranteed to be human error, which can cause gaps.
well, that's why we have the supervisor's review to confirm.
Human at the end of the day.
That's true. That's true.
So that's why I'm asking: is it automated? If it is automated, do you
It's
do
automated.
an audit by keyword search? Like, what do you pick up? There's so many policies and so much language in these policies that's really where I'm going with this question.
So we go by the events. We have different categories: precincts, We do, interrogations. We have different categories of what we're looking for. Specialized units. We'll do a certain, so each one has a certain percentage. Like right now, we're doing 75% platoon 4, and then 25% platoon 1, 2, and 3. So, and then it's a breakdown of each command percentage what we're going to look at.
Does your sample include any kind of correlation with OCI and complaints? Because again, I feel like there might be a correlation there.
I would have to get with him to see if that is a correlation. We can get together and maybe see if it is.
No, currently?
We don't. Me and him have not connected.
I feel like that's a natural fit.
Right, absolutely. That was going to be my question.
Because if it's a keyword search for the audit or keyword, however you want to explain it, the automation, it would kind of make natural sense that OCI would be involved with some level of, whether it be use of force, violate, all these things, to be able to review those.
Commissioner, if I may, one of the issues, and that is a great idea, and we can connect with chief investigators, see if there's a way to make it work, but the system that they are pulling data from is not the same system that OCI enters data into.
Yeah, they don't talk to you.
Yeah, the CAD system, which is where all of our events are recorded, is where they get their sampling from. And that, when a citizen complaint comes in, that's not entered into CAD, that's entered into MAS. So they're two different systems, but it is certainly a discussion we need to have, and we will have very soon.
Yeah, I think it's vitally important because, 36, I think we get way more than 36 body-worn camera violations in a year. Is that correct?
Through the chair, I would want to, yes, we get a lot more, considerably a lot more. And one of the things that would help us is what metrics are being measured here to determine that there is a 99% compliance rate. Is that metric just turning the camera on to make sure it's functioning? Or is that metric actually looking at the events that happen at the scene? Because our data does not match this. And in addition to that, there was a comment that citizen complaints have reduced.
Right.
They have not reduced since I've been here, since May of 2023. They're continuing to rise. Now, I will say this. Citizens typically do not complain about the camera being on or off. That's something that our investigators end up determining once they do their investigation. So I would love to work with the department in an effort to make sure that we can match this up to where what we are seeing and what you're seeing as you all are reviewing the cases and signing the cases are more in line.
Through the chair. So we're not just looking at events not captured. We're looking for like search and seizure. We're looking for any policy violations. If we just happen to be reviewing that video and we can't find it, that's just an event not captured. But once we review the video, the officers have a list of things that we're looking for, and then beyond that.
Okay, all right. So you're saying it need to be some synergy here, and as far as because the number, then when you say it's a 99%, you read that and say it's a 99%, compliance rate. I don't believe that to be true based upon what we review. It's not a 99% rate on what we review. Because we got these folders right here. These are citizen complaints. And I try to lift these folders up every single week as often as we can, because this is the bread and butter of what commissioners do in terms of reviewing cases. And we don't see that in what we're reviewing here in terms of body worn compliance.
Through the chair, one more thing. So when you speak of citizen complaints, that's where the code of conduct comes in, violations, profanity, demeanor. So those things are associated with the citizen complaints. Officers' behavior, are they, swearing at the citizens?
Right.
So that's what we're looking. That's one of the main things we're looking for.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir.
I'm glad that Dr. Martin brought that up.
Yeah.
What is the impact in terms of not the deterrence about officers engaging in inappropriate behavior, profanity, calling people out of that. I mean, we can go on and on. I just read these cases and it's cited over and over. So it's not a deterrence in terms of being on camera. It just maybe I need to perform a little bit more. Unfortunate. So perhaps the deputy chief can respond. We have raised that issue over the years. Demeanor is like number one. And I don't understand that. I served 32 years. I just can't back them. In the old days, you know, perhaps we could not prove it. But today, we can cite you because we have it on camera. But I don't know the response of the department in terms of dealing with this situation. I don't know if we have repeat offenders or not. Okay, so that means we have a repeat offender we need to address that is. Somewhere along the line, it's an issue.
Yeah, through the chair, absolutely. One of the things that the body-worn camera has done, it has removed doubt from many of the investigations. Like you said, there was a time when it was very difficult to prove cases. We're now able to establish with certainty, or relatively more certainty, what occurred, and that is certainly one of the benefits. I do believe that the body-worn cameras do serve deterrence. However, our employees are human, they do err. Sometimes they err egregiously. No one thought that the implementation of body-worn cameras would eliminate misconduct. The goal was that it would help us adjudicate misconduct. Right. And I think it has accomplished that stellarly. But this conversation certainly has raised the need for myself, Dr. Martin, and the chief investigator and his team to sit down, compare our numbers, analyze each other's processes. One of the things that we've noticed that when we sit down together and we look at the work that each other has done, the other side can usually offer some insight that is very valuable, and we welcome that from the chief investigator and his team. So we will schedule that meeting very soon.
Thank you very kindly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
do you wish to update the attendance? We had several commissioners.
Yeah,
arrive.
thank you. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Carter is present, Commissioner Smith, and that Commissioner Burton is back in the room, and Commissioner Hernandez is here. Thank you, parliamentarian. Let's go to the secretary report.
Through the chair, the report today contains those things under your tab 6 that are listed on the agenda. The shot spotter, I believe there's facial recognition, as well as there is the citizen complaints memorandum from the last Citizens Complaint Committee meeting. The announcements for the week are as follows. The next board meeting is next Thursday, April 24th, 3 p.m. here at Detroit Public Safety Headquarters. The May community meeting will be held Thursday, May 8th in the 8th Precinct at 6:30 p.m. The location is at the Crowell Recreation Center, which is 16630 Lasher Road in Detroit. The next committee meeting of the board is the Policy Committee, which will be meeting Tuesday, April 29th at 5 p.m., and that will be here at Public Safety Headquarters in the Woodward Conference Room. And that is the report today.
Thank you very kindly. Let's go to unfinished business. Commissioner Bernard.
I'd like to give a report on the Policy Committee. Item 7A is by the direction of the Policy Committee, I move to adopt Directive 102.12, duty to intervene.
No, second.
I don't have to have a motion, do I?
You have to have a motion. You don't have a second because it's
So
a motion
moved.
coming from a committee. So there's no second required because it's a committee motion. But you do have to make the motion, but it's not your personal motion, it's the committee's motion.
Okay. The committee moves that by the direction of the Policy Committee, I move to adopt Directive 102.12, duty to intervene.
By direction of the Policy Committee and supported by Commissioner Walsh, help us out with it. Write this stuff out for us. You know,
No second.
every
By
week.
direction, it is moved by direction of the Policy Committee.
Okay, by direction.
That's all you
And that's
need,
it.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
by direction of the Policy Committee.
To
I move
adopt.
to adopt Directive 102.12, the duty of police officers to intervene.
And then Mr. Chairman needs to say that motion so that it is.
So by direction of the Policy Committee, The duty to intervene policy, the request is to adopt a duty to intervene policy at 102.12. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. There you go, we got it.
Okay, the next one. The policy, by the direction of the policy committee, we move to adopt directive number 201.2, patrol-related reports.
Okay, by direction of the policy committee, the Director 201.2 patrol-related reports. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. Thank you.
Okay. By the direction of the policy committee, we move to adopt directive 401.1, performance evaluation ratings.
It is moved by the policy committee, by the direction of policy committee, to approve Directive 401.1 performance evaluation rating. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. I just want to thank the policy committee and Deputy Chief for the great work they are doing there, as well as our policy Director, Felicia Tyson. I know it's been robust, and Commissioner DeWash, the whole committee is doing a yeoman's job to work hard to getting these policies done, and looking forward for more great things to occur out of the policy committee, and encourage all citizens to pay attention to our website and attend those meetings because they are very, very powerful and robust. This closed door session, what is the pleasure?
Move to go into closed session.
Motion made by Commissioner Banks.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hernandez.
I move that we go into closed session, Section 8F of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15268F, that we disqualify applicant Sean Martin for the appeal of DPD hiring process.
Motion made, we stated the motion by Commissioner Banks to go into closed session, second by Commissioner Hernandez. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. This is a 3-minute recess. Today is the 17th of April, 2025. It's 5:02. The Board of Police Commission is called back to order. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Woods?
Oh, it's back in open session, rather. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Good.
Present.
Commissioner Smith?
Present.
Commissioner Bernard?
Present.
Commissioner Banks?
Present.
Commissioner Bell?
President.
Commissioner Burton?
Present.
Commissioner Carter? Commissioner Moore is excused. Commissioner Hernandez?
Here.
Commissioner Presley is excused. Commissioner DeWalsh?
Present.
9 present, sir.
We have a quorum. What is the pleasure of the board?
Oh, I move that we approve the appeal.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Bernard to approve candidate Martin's appeal and supported by Commissioner Walsh. Any discussion? When all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any roll call?
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Bernard?
Yes.
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
Commissioner Bell?
No.
Commissioner Burton?
Yes.
Commissioner Carter? Commissioner Moore is excused. Commissioner Hernandez?
No.
Commissioner Presley is excused. And Commissioner DeWalsh?
Yes.
7 yea votes, 2 nay votes.
You didn't ask.
Oh, I'm sorry. Chairman Woods?
Yes.
I am so sorry. Well,
The yeas have it. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move to adjourn.
Motion made by Commissioner Bernard to adjourn.
Please announce that the motion is adopted.
Oh, the motion is adopted. Thank you.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hernandez for adjournment and discussion. All in favor?
Wait a minute, everybody. I want to wish everyone in the room and everyone that was here even early a very happy Easter. May God bless you all, and may you have a wonderful holiday weekend with your family and friends.
What time?
Yeah. Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. We are adjourned. Thank you so much.